Magyanatimirandasya Niranjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
So we are very, very grateful to the great Tulsi Prabhu. Prabhuji took out from his schedule, most busy schedule, for some time for us. So Prabhuji has been source of inspiration for so many devotees, specifically whenever Prabhu is there in Mayapur. For me practically, I see Prabhu very exemplary and consistent. In the time, somewhere around 2010 or 11, since then I know Prabhu. Of course, Prabhuji came in Krishna consciousness near 2009 as Prabhu told. And Prabhu joined his parent temple there in Europe, Bulgaria, right? Bulgaria.
Sophia.
Sophia. So very beautiful name. So since then Prabhuji is practicing, and Prabhuji also every year practically makes it to visit here, Mayapur, to take association and give to. So
Mainly to take.
So Prabhu had been a Bhakti Sastri classmate of his Srinivas Gopal Prabhu. So when I was in college, and Prabhuji called Prabhuji as well as whose classmate. Both of them come every year. So I see Prabhu that he finishes his chanting long before, maybe somewhere in 6 o'clock or before that, and he reads Prabhupada's book before Dasanarthi. So it's very great. One day I was seeing in temple only, reading Prabhupada's, great inspiration. So every year Prabhu comes to Lama. Prabhuji is very loving disciple of His Holiness Karam Kanan Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj has very kindly given Prabhuji the instruction to develop Brooklyn Temple, Radha Govindji in Europe. So Prabhuji is currently
New York.
So it's in New York, sorry. It's in New York. So Brooklyn, of course, in New York. But in New York, so Prabhuji is taking care of that place. So I'd like to welcome Prabhuji. Great Tulsi Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see young enthusiastic people. I like young and enthusiastic people. And you look both young and enthusiastic, isn't it? So, okay, today we'll speak a little bit about Srila Prabhupada, his personality and his glory, especially as the savior of the whole world, the whole planet. So I wanted to speak mainly about 3 aspects. Of course, the pure devotees, they are like Krishna, in a sense. The qualities of Krishna are unlimited. It is said that Anantashesh is trying to glorify Krishna and to glorify all his amazing qualities from time immemorial, and still he cannot do it. So pure devotees, they are also like that. Shastri saying, Titikshava Karunika, Suhridam Sarvadehinam. They are very tolerant, they are very merciful, they are friends to all living entities, so unlimited good qualities. But Yes, we'll focus on few aspects. I was thinking, let's first start from this point. We are very, very fortunate. Why? Because Krishna appears how many times in one day of Brahmaji? One time. So what is the extent of one day of Brahma? Do you know? Do you remember? Or you may, even if you don't know the number, you can explain it.
Like it is for 1,000 Chaturjugas.
1,000 yuga
Yeah.
cycles.
1,000 cycles.
So this is what? One kappa, one day of Brahmaji. Yes, correct. So in this one day of Brahma, Lord Krishna appears once, only one time. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appears also only one time. So this is, now you can imagine, our Kali Yuga is how many years?
Now,
Yeah, Kali Yuga. How? 420,000, 27,000. There is till the end. So, very long time. This is just one Kali Yuga. And then we have 3 more yugas to complete one cycle of yugas, and then 1,000 of those. And then for this amount of time, Lord Chaitanya will appear only one time. So how many years before Lord Chaitanya was stepping on this place, Sridham Mayapur? How many years? 535 years ago. Can you imagine? From this huge amount of time, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they were personally present here, not just on this earth. They were present on this spot, on this place. That's why Srila Prabhupada in one place, he is saying, yes, we have Chaitanya Janathan, Yoga Pit, yes? Then Prabhupada said, but this is Lord Chaitanya's karma stan, the place of his activities, the place where he was performing Harinam Sankirtan, the place where he was saving the fallen souls. And even at the moment, this is still going on. So Lord Chaitanya, he started this thing only 500 years ago. And then he wanted to save the whole world. And he predicted that the holy name will be chanted in every town and every village. But he didn't do it. He went all over India. He saved all living entities in India, Bharatvarsha. But then he did not cross the ocean. And he said, I'm leaving this for who? For my Senapati Bhakta, for my general. In the future, my general will come and he'll go to these places and he'll save everyone. Doesn't matter how fallen they are. So, obviously, Srila Prabhupada was empowered personality. Why? Let's see a little bit the history. Let's see the Christianity, for example. Christian tradition, you know, maybe a little bit, huh? Do you know? So Christianity started around 2,000 years ago. And Jesus, some people, they say he was in India. Do you know this? There are some documents, they are saying he was here in the Himalayas. He went to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. So anyway, he went back and he had only 3 years to preach. 3 years he preached. And then his movement started. So the Christianity became it was growing, but actually it became really serious, like really established around 400 years after Jesus. So around 400 years it took so that his movement became established. He was Shakti Vaishnava. He was especially empowered personality. Now let's see the life of Srila Prabhupada. He went to the West alone. He didn't have anybody. He started to preach. After 12 years, he had what? I mean, this is definitely establishment, isn't it? So he have like what, between 5 and 10,000 disciples, initiated disciples, and so many followers, and like 100 centers established around the world. Practically, his movement became established for like 10 years, 12 years. Not in one city, not in one country, all over the world, all the 7 continents, Hare Krishna movement became known. In fact, the Hare Krishna movement became known for one night. When the Beatles recorded Hare Krishna mantra and they released this album, you know, Beatles? Have you heard? No? This is maybe the most famous band, rock band in the history of the world. Beatles, they are from England. They were very, very famous already. So then Srila Prabhupada sent 3 couples of devotees to England to preach, and they met Beatles. That was impossible for at that time. Beatles, they were like higher than gods. Nobody can go close to them. And somehow devotees, they managed to go, not just go close to them, they became friends with them. And actually when George Harrison saw Shyama Sundar, Prabhu, the Prabhupada disciple, first time, he just saw him from a distance, a whole room full with people. George Harrison just saw him and just started talking to him. He said, come. And then Shyama Sundar Prabhu came, shaved head, tilak, shika, orange clothes. In the West, that was unheard before. Like, devotees, they were so bold, preachers. And he just went close to George Harrison, and George Harrison said, do you know from when I'm waiting for you? I'm waiting for you from so long. So immediately they went to one room and they started talking. They became friends immediately. And then George Harrison said, okay, I want to make a recording for you. And then they make record, they released it for like, in no time, like few days, it was the best-selling single in the whole world. The best-selling record in the whole world. Everybody started listening Hare Krishna just for a few days. So, yes, very, very powerful personality, Srila Prabhupada. And how he established his movement, how he spread his power, his energy. I want to speak mainly about 3 ways. The first way is his books. The books of Srila Prabhupada, they are not ordinary books. Why? Because they have the power to change the life of the people. Believe it or not, that's a fact, that's a reality. I want you to close your eyes and to think for a second, what were you doing, let's say 5 years ago? Think about it, go back in the past and think, okay, maybe now I'm 20 or 21. So what I was doing 5 years ago in my life, or 6 years ago, what activities I was doing, I don't know, maybe what was my food, all these things. So now you can come back to Mayapur and just see, we are the proof. We are the proof. Our life somehow became changed. Maybe some of you will say, well, yeah, but I'm coming from Vaishnava family and I know about Hare Krishna since I was like 1 month. My grandmother was singing me Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, in this case, you are exception. You are very lucky. But many of us, it's not like that. Like me, I was not like that. When I was a teenager, I was playing football and basketball. I was running behind girls. I was drinking forbidden substances and so on and so on. So I did it all. And one day I met one Mataji on the street, devotee. She came to me, spoke to me, gave me a small book, asked for donation. I said, I don't have money. She said, okay, give whatever you have. So I had 30 paisa. Not 30 rupees. Not 30 rupees. Like 30 paisa. And I said, sure, I'll give donation, no problem. So I gave this like. And she said, okay, this book is for you. Read it. That's our place. If you like it, come to meet us. And I went home. I read the book for a week. Do you want to know which book?
Yes.
It's a small book of Srila Prabhupada, Perfection of Yoga. Have you read this one? It's an amazing book, like when I read this book. And then I understood that this person, he's speaking very strongly. I don't like this. Why he's speaking like that to me? Who does he think he is that he's speaking so heavily? But then in my heart understood, this man, he knows what he's talking and what he's saying is the real goal of life. Yes, this is the real goal of life. So my false ego was boycotting a little bit, but actually my heart was saying, yes, this is a word. The word calls surrendering your life, using your energy for. So this is what happened. When I met the devotees, and here I am. I got the mercy. So this book Prabhupada changed my life. And I know many other devotees who are saying the same. They just got a book, they read the book, and they changed their life. And before that, do you know how many times we were trying to stop the alcohol or other things like that? We were trying. We wanted to live a pure life. It didn't work out. And somehow, you meet the books of Prabhupada, you get transcendental knowledge, you get his association, and within a week, some months, your life is changed. You're managing to do things that practically impossible. For a modern man in the Western world, it's impossible to do. We did that. Sometimes there are people there saying, oh, nowadays many of those books that we are selling, these are not the Prabhupada books. Because Srila Prabhupada said, even a comma should not be changed in my books. And they change one comma. So now, these are not the books of Prabhupada. And the energy of Prabhupada is not inside. And you know what? If you read them, you will not get any benefit. Just like reading a mundane book. Some people are saying this, strangely. I don't believe this. Of course, we can explain philosophically why this is wrong and so on, because if a pure devotee speaks and in the books that he is producing, the spiritual energy is entering because of purity of his consciousness. So it's not so easy to lose this spiritual energy just by changing one sign, one comma. But again, what is the proof that the books of Srila Prabhupada, they are completely powerful? Again, we are the books. Like some people, they are saying, only the first edition of Bhagavad Gita is the real edition, and no other one. And the other, they are powerless, they don't have power. Guess what? I never saw the first edition of Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I was not lucky enough. looks like I got born much later. So the edition of Bhagavad Gita I got was edition that, I guess, the edition of Bhagavad Gita that was translated in my language from a people who are practicing Krishna consciousness from maybe 2 or 3 years. So believe me, they knew much less about the Krishna conscious philosophy than what you know now. Much less. And somehow, because of enthusiasm, they just got these books. They said people should know this, people should have this knowledge. They translated the books and they printed them and they started distributing them. And I got one of those books. And I read it and I became a devotee. So I am completely convinced that these books, they make devotees. Because I became devotee. And I distributed many books of those same Bhagavad Gitas to other people, and I saw how they are also doing. So nobody can convince me that these books, they are not important. So that's one thing. The books of Srila Prabhupada are not ordinary. And even Srila Prabhupada himself was reading his books. Do you know that? Have you heard? Srila Prabhupada was taking his own books that he wrote, and he was reading them, and he was enjoying. And the devotees, they were surprised, like, Prabhupada, why are you reading your books? Nobody reads his books. And his answer was, do you know what?
Lord Krishna's words.
Yes, these are not my books actually. I just wrote what Krishna was telling me to write. So this is Krishna in the form of transcendental sound. Other times, Srila Prabhupada was saying, this purpose, these are my emotional ecstasies, especially empowered emotional ecstasies. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one verse, it is said, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Please drink this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam actually now was touched by Shuka, by Shukadeva Goswami. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, and then became even sweeter, even more sweeter. So now this transcendental knowledge that is coming from Vedic literature, from the Vedas, from the Puranas, from the Itihasas, actually it was touched by Srila Prabhupada, by pure devotee of the Lord. And this knowledge, with his realizations and his purports, it became even sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. Now we have the originals of Bhagavad Gita, of the verses of Bhagavad Gita. Yes? Do you know how many translations of Bhagavad Gita you have in English?
700.
Srila Prabhupada is saying in the 70s, 700. That's in English. Do you know how many people interpret Bhagavad Gita in India? How many gurus you have? I would dare to say unlimited. So basically, the verses of Bhagavad Gita are there. And so many people who got Bhagavad Gita, they were understanding Bhagavad Gita, they were explaining Bhagavad Gita. And so many people who read Bhagavad Gita. Like, maybe it's a strong statement, but I doubt that there are many people in Bharatvarsha, in India, that they never read Bhagavad Gita. Maybe not the whole Bhagavad Gita, but few verses, a chapter 2, maybe at least for some auspiciousness, something. So many people. But how many of those people, they suddenly changed their life? Like from completely material people, suddenly they said, no, I will surrender my life to Krishna. How many? Hardly any. What to speak in the West? So many swamis, yogis, they came before Prabhupada. And they presented Bhagavad Gita, of course, because this is something substantial. How many people became devotees? Hardly any. Okay, a bona fide disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to the West, came to London, came to Germany. They preached, they make one person. Initiated disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. One person. Haribol! And this is success. This is success because one soul was saved, and he was a very intelligent person. Now Srila Prabhupada came, and he started distributing his books. What was the result?
Millions.
Hurricane, tornado of devotees appeared. Devotees from the first days they are sharing. Sometimes so many devotees were coming for one day. They were saying they want to join. They could not accommodate them. Like 5, 6, 7, 10 devotees every day. I mean, they have small rooms, small buildings. The devotees were sleeping everywhere, in the rooms, in the corridors, in the temple room, almost in the bathroom. By the way, when I joined, our temple was very small and there was quite some number of devotees. So we had one devotee, he was sleeping in the bathroom. We had a bench, big bathroom, a bench, and he was sleeping on the bench. And he didn't want to get up for Mangalarti. So when devotees started taking shower in the morning, he was covered with a blanket, and blanket starts getting wet. And he feels that something is wrong. He just turns other way around and put the blanket on the other side and continue to sleep. So one day devotees, they just throw some water on him. He understood, I have to get up for Mangalarti. Anyway, so devotees, they were everywhere. So many devotees, one Bhagavad Gita. But with pure message, with pure purpose. So that's one aspect, how Srila Prabhupada saved this planet with his books. He translated these books, he commented these books, he brought them to the West, and he started, with the help of his Western disciples, distributing them all over the world, practically. That's a favorite topic of mine. I like to speak how everything started, about the books, but it's a long topic, so maybe sometimes we can have a separate discussion only about this, only about how everything started, about the book distribution and the first book distributors and so on and so on. So now the second way how Srila Prabhupada is saving the world, this is through this movement of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. We know Srila Prabhupada came to the West, and it was not easy. It's not that he came and Krishna and all the associates from the spiritual world of Krishna, they were practically waiting him on the Boston harbor, and they just said, "Oh, okay, you brought the books. Okay, that's enough. Give us the books. We will do the job, and you can go back to Vrindavan and just meditate on Krishna Lila, Krishna pastimes, and everything will be nice." No, it was not like that. He went there. He didn't have a place where to stay. In the beginning, he was staying in this family. They were eating meat. So half of the fridge was with meat, half of the fridge was without meat, and Srila Prabhupada was tolerating. That's it, okay. This is what I have. Somehow I'm going to work with it. He was going to his friend, his name was Mishra, Dr. Mishra. And he was a preacher, and he had a following, but he was preaching in Manhattan. Why? Because the people there are more rich. So he was getting the kind of middle age or little older ladies, rich ladies, and that was his congregation. And Srila Prabhupada went there, and he had to start preaching from somewhere, and he just went there and he started talking to these ladies. And Dr. Mishra, he was actually a representative of the Advaitavada philosophy. So he was preaching his Advaitavada philosophy, and Prabhupada was preaching Krishna Bhakti. And he was tolerating in the beginning. And then Srila Prabhupada is commenting. Sometimes after that, they had a serious discussions, and Srila Prabhupada was on his case. But yeah, that was the situation. And then we know little later Prabhupada went to live in the home of one boy, This boy, he was taking drugs, so one night he became crazy. He wanted practically to, maybe to beat Srila Prabhupada or who knows what. Srila Prabhupada had to take his stuff fast and just leave, move from there. Then devotees managed to get this place, 26 Second Avenue. But it took time. It took time. Srila Prabhupada in one lecture, he's sharing, he's saying, every 2-3 months I was getting disappointed. I had despair in my heart. I was thinking, it's not possible. It's so difficult, I cannot do it. And then I was going to the harbor and I was asking, when is the next ship for India? And the man there was telling me, oh, it's then. Then one time I went there and he said, Swamiji, but you're always asking, but you never go. Why is that? And I told him, every time when I become very much disappointed, I come here to ask when is the ship. But then I'm telling to myself, let me try 3 months more. Let me try 3 months more. So it was very difficult. Srila Prabhupada was alone. Of course, not alone, because he had this strong faith in Krishna, in Guru Parampara. One time, Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada disciple, he's saying that they were with Prabhupada in Vrindavan a little later. And then they said, Srila Prabhupada, is it true that actually you met Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami? And Srila Prabhupada looked at him and he said, this is not a secret, everybody knows that. And they said, can you tell us a little bit more about this? And he related. But the point is, he knew that whole Guru Parampara is with him, Krishna is there. But externally the things were tough. Srila Prabhupada in New York in the winter, oh, that's heavy. I had fortune, from one side fortune, because preaching mission, but from the other side, not such a big fortune to spend 2 winters in New York. It's heavy. It's heavy. Because the winter is not super cold, it's not like Russia or Siberia, like -30, -40, not like that. -0, -5, sometimes -10, but super heavy wind all the time, because New York is exactly on the shore of the ocean. So constantly such a heavy wind, such a heavy wind. So Srila Prabhupada was walking on these streets. Srila Prabhupada was walking, and for Indian, winter in the West, that's heavy. That's heavy, but he was tolerating. So gradually he established this movement. The first boys started coming, and Srila Prabhupada started preaching, started giving classes. And he had the faith that, okay, if I just continue, my Guru Maharaj, he'll help me. And then many times later, Srila Prabhupada said, you nice young boys and girls, I know you are sent from my Guru Maharaj to help me in this mission. So Srila Prabhupada, he was taking everything as the mercy of his Guru Maharaj. Then the movement started spreading more and more and more, and more temples were open. Srila Prabhupada was traveling. And what can we say? I want to quote one spiritual master who said, of course, this should not be taken in a wrong way, but he said, I did not join ISKCON. I joined Srila Prabhupada. And because of Srila Prabhupada, I'm doing so much service for ISKCON. So again, this should not be taken in the wrong way, like we are part of ISKCON and we want to support this movement with our bodily energy, mind's energy, words energy, with our whole existence. But actually, if you think about it, there is a very, very deep meaning in this. I joined Prabhupada, and because of Prabhupada, I'm doing service for ISKCON. What does that mean? It actually means Prabhupada is the soul of ISKCON. Without Prabhupada, there is no ISKCON. So the personality of Prabhupada is actually ISKCON. The instructions of Prabhupada, this is ISKCON. The books of Srila Prabhupada, this is actually ISKCON. This is the foundation. If this is lacking, there will be a problem. So in the same way, in our spiritual life, if we are lacking connection with Prabhupada, something very serious will be lacking in our spiritual life. This is like thing number one in our spiritual life. But what about Lord Krishna? I want to have a connection with Bhagavan. No problem. Your connection with Bhagavan is already there. But how are you going to realize it without the mercy of Srila Prabhupada? Like every morning we are singing, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada. Yasya Aprasadam, Nagati Kutapi. Without the mercy of spiritual master, you cannot get the mercy of Krishna. And especially Srila Prabhupada, because he is the soul of this movement. So anyway, when I heard this thing and I thought for a second, I was like, what does he mean? Like, I didn't join ISKCON. You did join ISKCON. I also joined ISKCON. But no, actually, what he said, I really like this thing. I joined Prabhupada. And for Prabhupada, because of him, I'm doing so much things about the institution. Because spiritual life is more than an institution. Like sometimes you're in Mayapur and spiritual life is so easy. Amazing Mangalarti, like already on Mangalarti, when you enter and you see Radha Madhava and Haribo, ecstasy. Prasadam. Oh, you want prasadam in Mayapur? No problem. Prasadam is there. Association of senior devotees. Haribo. So much association. Every 2 meters, like senior devotee. You can just offer 1,000 dandavats every day only to senior devotees. No problem. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes you are, you don't know what will happen with your life. You may be other side of the world, alone in a country, and there are 3 devotees in the country, and 2 of them are 600 kilometers from you. And that's it. And you have to survive. You have to practice. So yes, you're part of ISKCON, but ISKCON is not there. ISKCON is not there. ISKCON is maybe the closest temple is, I don't know, next country. I had such kind of situations. We were distributing books in Greece. Do you know where is Greece? Mm-hmm. It's in Europe, yes. The most southern country in Europe. After that, there is no Europe anymore. You have Africa. So very nice country, very nice people. Like they like so much kirtan. They buy books. They are charitable, give donations, but don't talk about 4 evolutive principles. Okay, you lose them immediately. They are very attached to their tsuvlaki, and if you want to know what is tsuvlaki, better don't ask me. But it's not a Vaishnava thing. It's a food. So yeah, at some point there was a temple there, and we were staying there. We were going out and we were preaching, distributing books, and then suddenly next year when we went there again to do books, to preach, temple was not there. And we said to the temple president, hey, what's happening with the temple? He said, well, the government came, the police came, and he said we are illegal, we didn't have the right to do it, this, that, and they said for now we have to close the place, and they just, that's it. And no temple. And what we are going to do? We have to preach. In Greece, no temple, no devotees. And then fortunately we had one friend. Do you know from which country? From Bangladesh. Shankar Chowdhury. Very nice person. He had a haircut salon. You know haircut salon? So we went to him and we explained what the situation. He said, no problem, Prabhuji. You are my guest. You can stay in my place as much time as you like. So this man, he had 2 rooms. One room was like living room, one room was bedroom. He said, now, bedroom is your room. You can stay as much as you like. I will live in the living room. And he didn't have where to sleep. So he had one sofa, practically that big, like 1.5 meters, and he was sleeping like that every night on this sofa. So like he's businessman in Greece, Athens, he's making every day, I don't know, maybe, let's say 50,000 rupees, something like that. And he is living on this sofa. Why? Because he gave his bedroom to sadhus to stay there. So anyway, and we were trying to do as much as we can. We were surviving. But sometimes it may be difficult. But Prabhupada is there, and Krishna is there, and they will always help you. So the Gauranga movement, the hands of Lord Chaitanya, they will be there. They will protect you. They will protect you. So anyway, that was the second aspect. And then the third aspect, I would like to say something, is the third aspect of the Hare Krishna movement that Srila Prabhupada spread over the world is very interesting. Do you want to know?
Haribo!
Sure?
Yeah, very well.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so the third aspect of the Hare Krishna movement that Lord Chaitanya spread in India and Srila Prabhupada spread all over the world, these are you. You are the third aspect. The followers of Srila Prabhupada, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada did, and he is very empowered personality, and he did a lot. He opened 100 temples, he translated so many books, he did so much. But then, he did not stop. No, he continued with full force. After Srila Prabhupada left the planet, it continued with full force. His followers, his disciples, they continue to preach strongly. Amazing personalities. Like, for example, because we are in the kingdom of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. Let's say something about him. I mean, Srila Prabhupada came, he was staying in the Bhajan Kutir, and during his time there was one building. That was Lotus building. And that was it. And the temple was there, and rice fields all over the place. And then Srila Prabhupada said to Jayapataka Maharaj, I am giving you the spiritual world. Now develop it. And then, miracle. I mean, I'm walking on the street and I cannot walk. So many people. I cannot go to buy prasadam. I have to wait half an hour to buy prasadam. So many people. Like, it's amazing. I mean, I don't mind. But it's like, Mayapur became really like it's a town, and at some point it will become a city even. It's growing so much. Jayapataka Maharaj, empowered by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada told him, you have to accept how many disciples? How many he has? More than 15,000. Definitely more.
More than 60,000.
So, empowered personality. Or let's take His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was a big preacher, and he started this traveling Radha Damodar Sankirtan party. Have you heard? There are pictures, maybe you saw pictures, like 4 buses behind and like all the devotees in front, like with books and instruments and deities. They were traveling all over America, and they were preaching heavily, and they were making so many devotees. But also they were doing one more thing. They were going through the temples, and whenever they were going through some temple, they were so enthusiastic. Young brahmacharis, all the brahmacharis from the temple immediately they wanted to join them and leave the temple. And after like 1-2 months, the temple presidents they got together and they said, no, this cannot continue. Like all the brahmacharis they disappeared from the temples. No, not possible. So they called Prabhupada and they complained. They said, this time Krishna Maharaj he stole all the brahmacharis from the temple. And then Srila Prabhupada spoke with him and said, no, it's like this is not good. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, those who know him, he was a little bit strong personality. You can find classes he gave and you can listen. It's worthy of listening, very special person. The right hand of Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada liked him very much and he was appreciating his service and his exceptional managerial skills alone. So then, being a little bit hot temperament, when Srila Prabhupada was speaking to him and Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Prabhupada, then if you want, I can disappear, huh? If you want me, I can go to China if you like, huh? And then I won't create problems. And then Srila Prabhupada said he's kind of getting a little bit fiery, so then, okay, he relaxed and then he left. And then next day, Srila Prabhupada sent his servant, and the servant said, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Prabhupada wants to speak with you. And then he went to the room of Prabhupada. And he already had some feeling in his heart that he said something wrong. And then he went to the room of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada looked at him and said, you know, this idea about China is not a bad idea, actually. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Prabhupada, you're joking. You're not. And Prabhupada looked at him and said, no, I actually think it's a very good idea. Someone anyway has to go to China to preach. So I think you have to go to China. And he got the instruction. And he went to China and he started the preaching in China, communistic country, like so difficult. He was so intelligent, like he had a plan how to do everything, how to smuggle books in the country illegally. Everything is checked, no religious books in the country. He knew how to do everything, how to bring the books, how to do everything. So yeah, and the preaching started in China. And now we see like huge groups of Chinese devotees coming, especially during Gaur Purnima festival. Hawa Wama, Hawa Wama, Wama Wama, Hawa Hawa. Hawa Krishna, Krishna, chanting the holy name of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada said, Chinese devotees, they will become devotees last, but they will be the most serious. They will be the most serious. Why? Because they are so disciplined. So disciplined. Now when they bring this to Krishna consciousness, it becomes like atom bomb. So yeah, so many empowered personalities. Srila Prabhupada empower them, give them freedom, give them space, and they did miracles. They did so much more. So, like, I don't know if someone knows some statistic, how many centers we have now?
More than 750.
More than 750.
Many temples. Centers, not more centers.
Temples and centers, and then we have some gurukulas, and then we have farm communities, and then what to speak about Namahatas and Bhakti Vrikshas and oh my God, like so many people, so many. So, yes. And those personalities who got the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who got the empowerment from Srila Prabhupada, now they have the power to empower. And they're empowering other personalities. And now they start spreading the mercy. They go to someone and they tell him, hey, do you know Hare Krishna is something very nice? And people are like, wow, transformed. Transformed. Why? Because the same Shakti that came from Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that came from Guru Parampara, through Srila Prabhupada, through his empowered disciples, now it's coming to you, in your hands. And now you can be an instrument in the hands of Srila Prabhupada. He can use you. You can become great personalities. Not because we are great. We are small, we are tiny living entities. But we can be a good instrument in the hands of great personalities. And then we can become also great. We can become also great. Like those spiritual masters that we are seeing now, they became great because they were instruments in the hands of great personality. So yes, this is how Srila Prabhupada is the savior of the whole world. Through his books, through his movement, through his followers. And we have to make a serious choice in our life. What is this choice? The choice is not, am I going to wear saffron clothes or white clothes? The choice is not, am I going to shave my head or I'll keep a little bit here just to be more cool? The choice is not, am I going to become a brahmachari or a family person? Neither the real choice is, okay, maybe I can move to live in the temple or I can stay outside. These are choices and we'll have to make them. But this is not the real choice. Do you know what is the real choice? The real choice is, am I going to become a pure devotee or not? Or I'll stay mixed devotee. Am I going to give my life to Krishna? Or actually I'll keep my life for myself and I'll give little to Krishna. A little bit I'll give because I'm pious. I'm pious. I'm coming from pious family. Yes. We were giving. My father, my grandfather, they were giving for Lord Krishna. I will also give for Lord Krishna. How many boxes you have in the temple? I will give donation to each one box. Yes. I'll give because I'm IT. I'm working. I'm making money. Lots of rupees. Yes, I will give donation. Donation I'll give. But my life, it's for me. I will decide how to live. Okay, that's good. That's very nice. Krishna will be happy. He'll give you mercy. But if you become a pure devotee, if you put Krishna on the first place in your life, this is different. Become a brahmachari, become a great preacher, great. Become a householder. Make Namahata programs, make Bhakti Vriksha programs. It's also great. Become a next CEO of the greatest IT company in India and go on the TV and say, I did this because of the Hare Krishnas. Great, it's all great, no problem. The question is, are you pure devotee or not? What is on the first place in your life? Krishna or you? Atmendriya prativanchatarakam, Krishnendriya priticha nareprayanam. If we put the happiness of Krishna on the first place, that means you are pure devotee. But Prabhuji, how to become a pure devotee? I have so many material desires in my heart. Do you know what's happening in my heart? Huh? Well, I know because I have them in my heart as well, in the same situation. But that's not important. The important thing is, are you going to try to do what Krishna and Srila Prabhupada wants you to do in your life? And if you do that, you're acting as a pure devotee. But I have material desires. That means I'm not a pure devotee. No. If Krishna is on the first place in your life, you're a pure devotee. But I'm a family person. It's okay. But keep Krishna on the first place in your life. Then you will win Krishna. Then you will win Srila Prabhupada. One time I asked my spiritual master, we were in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, Swami Bhakt Temple. And it was the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. Same. And my spiritual master, His Holiness Kadambaka Maharaj, was giving a class. And I asked him a question. And I wanted and I was expecting to get a certain answer. So my question was, what is the thing that will satisfy Srila Prabhupada the most? And at that time I was distributing books. So I was thinking, he'll say, of course, Srila Prabhupada. Books are the most important thing. He said, if you ever get money, print books. That's why I'm stressing so much on this thing. Where is book? Where is book? Where is book? I was thinking, now he'll tell. Yes, sure, Prabhupada is very happy if you distribute books and you're doing the right thing, and that means you're the greatest devotee of all. And everybody will hear about my glory. But then I could feel that my spiritual master spotted my ego, my self-centeredness. And he looked at me and he said, some may say that, okay, to distribute books is the most important thing. Some may, this is the most important thing, but no. Do you know which is the most important thing? What will make Prabhupada the most happy? And everybody was like, and then he said, if you develop your love for Krishna, this will make Prabhupada the most happy. Because that's why Prabhupada came, that's why he wrote the books, that's why he distributed the books, that's why he makes the temple, that's why he gave us the association of devotees. Only to help us to develop our love for Krishna. So this is the essence. Hare Krishna. I think I overdid it a little bit. I don't know if we have time for questions or you take over from here.
Hare Krishna. So, devotees online, if they have some question, यदि किसी प्रश्न आजे, अगर कुछ प्रश्न है तो आप लोग अनम्यूट करके बोलिए, और यहाँ पे अगर कोई प्रश्न है तो बोलिए. हमारे पास 10 मिनट टाइम है आज. 10 minutes. Yes. Please.
বাংলা বলছে
বাংলা বলছি, বলো.
বলছি যে প্রভুপাদের বুক এখন অনলাইনে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে ই-বুক, তো ওইটা যদি কোনো কারণে পড়তে পাওয়া গেল না, তো ই-বুক পড়লে কোনো প্রবলেম?
He is telling that Prabhupada books are available e-books. So if physical books are not available, somebody reads e-books, then is there any difference between reading both, like either of them? Like what is the difference between reading e-books?
Spiritually, there is no difference. Because the same Shakti is there, Srila Prabhupada is present there. So you are getting the same spiritual mercy. Of course, my personal experience is that to read book is much more sattvic. So it actually helps you to absorb the knowledge. I don't know, maybe your experience is not the same. But it's different when you take a book and you just start reading. It's much more sattvic. You are more relaxed somehow. Or when you have, let's say, I don't know, your Kindle or your phone and you read and all this light is coming. I mean, this is a little bit more passionate way. Again, you're reading the same books, but it's not exactly the same. But I mean, from the other side, so many devotees, they just read only on the computers, the books and shit. So, yeah. Spiritually, there is no difference. Same benefit.
What's the question? Any other question? Here we have Arkat Tiwari. Arkat Tiwari, Prabhu, could unmute yourself and speak.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji, I have one question that I'm not able to read books very frequently. Hello, yes, Prabhuji, I'm audible. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'm audible, Prabhu.
Wants to ask something.
Yes, Prabhu. My question is that I'm not able to read Srila Prabhupada book very frequently, but I'm very frequently try to listen Prabhupada lectures. I'm quite comfortable with the lectures. So how can I build my pace to read?
Can you start again?
Okay. I'm not able to read Srila Prabhupada books very frequently, but I'm able to hear Prabhupada lectures daily basis. So how can I build my interest to read Srila Prabhupada's books daily basis? That's my question.
Okay. Well, first, it's very, very good that you are listening to the classes of Srila Prabhupada. And in regards to reading the books, start with something small, something that you can maintain every day. One spiritual master one time gave instruction to one of my godbrothers because he was a working man. He did not have much time. So he told him, please read every day one verse and one purport from Srimad Bhagavatam. And you may think, oh, it's so little bit. But actually no, because if you think after a time, it will become so much. And the most important thing is you develop your connection with Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna. So start with something small, and gradually, once you develop a taste, you increase it more and more and more. But start with something that you can maintain on a regular basis. It can be 1-2 verses from Bhagavatam, 1-2 verses from Bhagavad Gita, as much as you can. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something, but every day, like the chanting. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Achyuta Saka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
for the class. It was a great class, Prabhu, and
Hare
it
Krishna.
inspired me a lot. So, my question was, Prabhu, that you told that Prabhupada wants that if we become Krishna conscious, then it's become Prabhupada's more happy. Also, I have heard that Prabhupada becomes more happy when he saw that we are distributing books and we are preaching. So, actually, if I want to become happy Srila Prabhupada, or if I want to make happy Srila Prabhupada, then what should we do? Means, what is the most essence? Distribute books
Okay.
or both in that context?
If I was in the West, the first thing I would say is that, okay, in order to make Srila Prabhupada happy, first thing is forget about not following the four regulative principles. So that's already a good beginning. But here, you're much more pious, so that's not such a big problem for you. I feel that the most important thing we have to do in order to satisfy Srila Prabhupada is develop our Krishna consciousness, develop our love for Krishna. But now, how to do this? There are many things, many ways we can do it. And like you mentioned, preaching. Preaching is a shortcut to achieve love for Krishna. Why? Because to follow the process of Krishna consciousness is very good and you advance spiritually, but the secret, especially of this movement is based on the principle of trying to get instruction from Guru and execute this. And if you do it, this is success. You may be very successful in executing the instruction or not so successful. This is not important. The important thing is to try your best to satisfy the desire of the spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada had a very, very, very strong desire to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Why? Because that was the desire of his spiritual master. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had such a strong desire that Krishna consciousness goes out of the borders of India. And he was speaking to his disciples, and he had very powerful disciples. Like some of his sannyasis were like heavy people. Like they were living in Gaudiya Mat, in the Mat, like Yogapeeth, Chaitanya Mat. And they were going to Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj and they were saying, Maharaj, you want us to maintain the temple, to go outside and preach, and to chant 64 rounds every day. This is not possible. We cannot do it. It's like, it's not possible. Do you know what Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj told them? Sleep less. If you cannot do it, just sleep less. Sleep less hours, and then it will be possible. And they did it. These were heavy people, very big preachers, very charismatic personalities, so knowledgeable. Srila Prabhupada is saying, some of my god brothers, they were so knowledgeable, they were so austere. I was not austere. I was not austere. When my Guru Maharaj came in my dream and told me, you have to take sannyas, I was thinking, why me? Like my god brothers, they are so... When I came to the West and this Krishna consciousness movement started spreading all over the world, I was asking, why me? I'm not. I had such a god brothers, much more austere, much more knowledgeable. Why me? Why me? And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he was sending people, he was asking them, so would you like to go to England to preach? And they were saying, oh, Guru Maharaj, maybe later, I don't feel ready. So difficult. And Srila Prabhupada went and did it. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada is saying, and if you think, why me? Why me? Because I had 100% faith in the instructions of my spiritual master. I knew he is asking me to do it, that means I'm empowered, I can do it. I had 100% faith that this will work, this will happen. And it worked out. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj wanted this to happen. Srila Prabhupada wanted to give pleasure to his spiritual master. If we help, this will win the heart of Srila Prabhupada. And it will win the heart of his followers because they get the same mood from Srila Prabhupada. Now some other people, they may tell you, this is not the highest, this is Kanishta platform. You're just running all day here and there with the books and, oh, Gita, Granta, Dashtaka, Kuritaka. This is not the most important. Krishna Lila. Have to meditate, some deeper stuff. Raga Nuga platform. This is the real thing. Not just running with the books here and there. Okay, let me ask you. What is the way to enter the spiritual world? What is the way to enter the spiritual world? What are we singing every morning? So, last stanza. Yasya prasadat, Bhagavad Prasadat, Yasya prasadat, Nagati Kuta. You cannot enter into the spiritual world by your imaginary Krishna Leelas in your mind, visualizing the Leela of Krishna. You cannot do it. Oh, but Prabhuji, I'm very advanced. I'm thinking about Radha Krishna pastime. Oh, very important. Govinda Lilamrita. Oh, I know. I heard. I read. And so what? You're the same rascal. Same sinful desires in the heart. How you're going to enter into the pure spiritual world? How is going to happen? Not possible. The only way is by the mercy of Guru. If Guru takes you for the hand and brings you, then it's possible. Otherwise, not possible. My spiritual master likes to say a story. We will live like a devotees and we will do Krishna Bhakti and chanting and this and that. And then the end of our life will come and we will die. And suddenly they will take us and they will bring us in front of a big commission. You know, commission? All the demigods, all the authorities of the universe, they are sitting there on one table and they are looking our case. And they are looking, not really. Yes, I see problem. You are brahmachari, but during the Harinam you are watching the deities, but actually you are watching the Matajis behind the deities. Big problem, Prabhuji. Problem. Oh, here they gave you Mahaprasadam and you took it and you ate it alone in your room. You locked your room and you ate all the Maha. You didn't share with nobody. Oh, this is very bad, very selfish. Bad. So they say you couldn't make it this lifetime. Not enough. You have to go back one more lifetime. But then someone will look and he'll say, wait. He's from the people of Prabhupada. He helped for the mission, for spreading the Sankirtan movement. And then everybody will just turn. Okay? If he's from the people of Prabhupada, okay. Go. Come on. Shri Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada Kripa ki.
Jai.
This is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. By our mercy, by our endeavor, it's not enough. It doesn't matter, even if you are very pious Hindu from Bharatvarsha, still it's not enough. But if you do something for Prabhupada and gets his mercy, then it's possible. It's okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for this.
So, like, do question. So, initially, I wanted to ask, like, since you have been practicing for a long time, so we see in our, in my life also, like, in general, we see, like, initially everything seems very nice. Like, we hear from someone, it feels to us a lot, we feel anxious to do service, and we grow in our Krishna consciousness. But slowly, what happens? Like, mind has this tendency to convert anything spiritual into material. Like, initially, it's nice, and then it's like same only. Like, we hear some songs, previously like used to some Bollywood songs. So previously, initially it is nice, and then later on it's like same only. We don't like, and we look for newer and newer things. So same in like spiritual life also, as we are growing in number of years. So then that same thing is, it's okay, same holy name, same lecture, and then we hear in every lecture. Even form of life is rare, and more or less we are hearing same things. So mind has a tendency to make it very material actually, mundane, like, and like our routine is also more or less same. Like early morning, Mangalarti, chant, like that, do books, and so then how to? But we hear that spiritual life is like it's new every day, like it's like Navayoganam, so how to realize that, or how to come to that platform?
It's a nice question. Yes, sometimes we, after some time, we start feeling, oh, it's all the same. Same mantra every day, 2 hours. Krishna, 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 Hare, 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 Rama, Rama. Oh, I know this Prabhuji. He gave class 100 times. I know him what he's going to say. I know everything. Yes. No need to listen. Yes, we have this tendency. Well, one thing, it's we have to keep our Krishna consciousness fresh. There are 2 ways to do that. I mean, there are more than 2 ways, but one thing is we have to constantly have some challenges in Krishna consciousness. That means that, this is our comfort zone. And in the beginning, we are not in a comfort zone because everything is new. But after a few months or a few years, you kind of get to know the situation and you kind of already feel very much in a comfort zone. Now, when you are in this comfort zone, your mind is not pushed to be focused. So you do Krishna consciousness, you do Krishna bhakti, but your mind is not there. And the taste we are feeling in the mind. If the mind is not part of the picture, you cannot enjoy Krishna consciousness. Like you can be in front of the deities, but you think about breakfast. Or you cannot see the deities, so you cannot enjoy. So now how to make the mind become part of the picture? Well, we have to, from time to time, come out of the comfort zone. And then the mind is stressed. A new situation. Okay, I have to be careful now. Let's see what I'm going to do. So the mind immediately becomes fixed in the present, in the moment, and then he experiences Krishna consciousness. So what does that mean, challenge? It means, one thing it can mean go deeper in your Krishna consciousness. Let's say you're chanting 16 rounds. Okay, for Kartik chant 32 rounds. 32 rounds, this is not possible. I never chanted more than 18 rounds. How I'm going to do? Stress for the mind. It's coming out of the comfort zone. But actually it's very useful because the mind will experience new levels of Krishna consciousness. I'm afraid to distribute books. No. This is too much. How I'm going to go and speak with the people? What I'm going to tell them? I never read this book. How I'm going to explain the book? No. Too much. Yes. Go immediately. Go. Try. Do it. And then this will make you come out of your comfort zone. You experience Krishna consciousness. Don't worry, Krishna will help you. But Prabhuji, it's very difficult. That's why it's very nice, because it's difficult. It will force you to think about Krishna. It will force you to surrender. You have to cook for 100 students. I never cook for more than 5 students. How I'm going to cook for 100 students? How much spices to put now? How much chili? If it becomes too hot, or maybe not too hot, what I'm going to do now? Stress, okay, let me ask someone, immediately go. Keeps you alive in Krishna consciousness. So come out of your comfort zone. Take a challenge. Do something new. So this is one thing that it will help you again and again and again to experience Krishna consciousness. You should have this always. It's not like the first year or second year or third year. It's for everybody. And you could see those devotees who are actually very inspired in their Krishna consciousness, you can see they are very active in Krishna consciousness. They constantly get some challenges. But they can say, oh, I'm a senior devotee, I'm 40 years in the movement. It's enough. Now it's time for retirement. I'll just relax, I will enjoy the devotees. No, they are the most active ones. Jayapataka Maharaj, with his problems, with his health, he wants to travel. Doctors don't allow him to travel. Servants don't allow him. Disciples don't allow him. He's saying, I'm going to travel. And he's traveling. Why? Because he's getting juice out of it. So like that, do something extra. And then the other very important thing to keep fresh in Krishna consciousness is you should find things in Krishna consciousness that you like to do. Like we do many things in Krishna consciousness, and we do them because this is the process. Yes, so we are following sadhana bhakti. It's like regulative. So you do follow the regulative principles. So you get up for Mangalarati, you do kirtan, you witness the arati, you read every day the books. Okay, but now out of all these many things, some things you like more, some things you don't like so much. Yes. Like, for example, some devotees, they really like to chant, but they don't like to read. Like reading is, if you ask them to read one chapter from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, this already they have a headache. Too much. I cannot read so much. Or other devotees, they like to read so much, but they don't like to chant. So, okay, anyway, we are going to do all these things, everything, but find the things that you really like and give some stress to these things. And they'll give you special happiness, special nectar in Krishna consciousness. Like I know devotees, they really like to learn verses. This gives them happiness in Krishna consciousness. Other devotees, don't ever try and make them reading. Impossible. Like after 10 years, they did not read the whole Bhagavad Gita. But if you ask them to cook for the Vaishnavas and feed the Vaishnavas, they're in ecstasy. They're in ecstasy. They're so happy. They don't need anything else. They can do this day after day. So happy. So find things that you like to do in Krishna consciousness, and from there you get a special happiness. And okay, other things also you have to do because it's a process, it's a method. But these things that you really like, when you do it, it will give you very positive feeling. You will enjoy Krishna consciousness, and in this way you will last very long.
Preaching in India, like, because people have, like, we are from same faith only, people know about God, Krishna and all, so it's easier actually. And we also, it's easy for us also. I mean, not easy in the sense, like, the people they already know, and whatever little bit else, the people take also books and they become devotees. So, but in the West, like, people are from complete different faith, like from Christianity or Islam or other backgrounds, Jewish backgrounds. So I mean, and they may say that, okay, we already have something because we are following some religion and we are following these things. So why have you come here? And so what is our conviction? And because we may face like many opposing elements also. Like you mentioned, in Greece they closed down the temple, police came, and we have read in that Salted Bread how much they torture devotees in Armenia and Russia. So what, like the conviction, which they're preaching in New York, so it's like Christian dominated place. So how is that?
People, they actually, most of the people, they don't believe. They don't believe at all in God. So that's the most difficult. In India, it's easier because people, they already believe in something. They are pious. Their lifestyle, if you see what they are doing, they don't believe actually. It's more difficult to make someone who does not believe into believing. That's one thing. Sometimes though, it's actually more difficult someone who already believe into Krishna devotee than someone who does not believe. Why? Because the person who does not believe, okay, you just have to explain nicely the philosophy, and he may accept, and that's it. But for the already believers, you have to first make them unbelief in what they already believe, and then you can install the new faith. Yes? Like sometimes they say in the West, if you go to learn a musical instrument and the teacher asks you, do you know already something? Let's say you want to learn piano, or let's say mridanga. So the teacher will ask you, so do you know something? And then if you say, oh yeah, I know this mantra, then he'll say, okay, then I'll take twice more money. Why? Because first he has to unteach you what you know, because many of the things most probably are wrong, and then he has to start teaching you again. Do you understand? So sometimes actually it's more difficult with people who kind of believe. Does that answer to the question?
Yeah, means what I wanted to answer is like, when we meet opposing people, like Christians, because I've heard like when we hear arguments like Christians, they say like Jesus is the only way. They say this, and almost all Christians say this. So then why are you preaching this?
What did we say to them?
No, like when they say that Jesus is the only way, and we know that Jesus is also an bona fide incarnation of God.
Yeah.
So then it becomes little. I mean, then what to say to them, or like it shakes my faith also. When at least I have seen some videos on YouTube like that. So the devotee is preaching, and then Christians they are responding in that way, or Muslims also then they say like that. So
if you like, sometimes we can make a special interfaith session, and you can ask many questions, and you can ask some very heavy questions. You can play the role of, they say, devil's advocate, and you can give all the doubts and everything, that, and then we'll try to answer. And then, you can see what we are saying. Different devotees, they have different approaches. Some, they don't deal with Christians at all. They just say, oh, I wish you good luck, please pray for me. And they are respectful, and they appreciate, and they say, okay, yeah, I'll pray for you. Some, we have one very good book distributor in New York. And when the guy tells him, no, I'm a Christian, he said, you are a Christian, amazing. This is the book for you, man. Take the book. He said, but Jesus, of course it's about Jesus. It's about the teachings of Jesus. Take the book and read it. It's like Bhagavad Gita. But that's the real teachings of Jesus. This is what Jesus came to give, isn't it? Jesus came to teach people how to love God. We are showing them the same thing. So it is the teachings of Jesus. He's not cheating them. He's not lying them. But he has such a strong conviction that gives the book, and the guy is taking the book and giving the life. I saw it with my own eyes. He's very empowered personality, very good book distributor. So different people, different approaches. I try to speak with them and see if they are open-minded Christians, then it works very easily. If they are closed, I don't waste time. because of the time that I'm going to waste with them and it won't change them, I can actually meet 3 people and they can become devotees. So different approaches, but they give different arguments. It's interesting, actually. It's fun. I'm coming from a Christian country, so I had many meetings and many battles on the street with Christians, and I know many of their arguments. With Muslims also to some extent. So anyway, it's fun. I like to do such kind of things. So if you like, sometimes we can have a debate, spiritual debate. We do sometimes in New York, and it's very much fun with the young people. And you can prepare your astras, and you can just shoot them one after the other, and we will try to counteract. It's an option we can do. Okay, I think we have to finish. It's getting late. So today is a very special day, and the day is not over. You can still offer some special prayer to Srila Prabhupada for mercy. If we get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, everything becomes very, very easy in the spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada ki, Disappearance Day of Srila Prabhupada 2023 ki, Mahapurdam ki, Gaura